Wednesday, July 9th. And today's Just Wondering will be in two parts. First, I'm wondering if the Dallas Cowboys understand the kind of deep water they're getting themselves into with the salary cap. And the second part, the unspeakable tragedy in Texas.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Eyeing retirement? We aim to turn your nest egg into a paycheck with half the amount you've been led to believe. Fluent Financial combines in-house portfolio design risk management with income-generating investments designed to aid your financial independence. Our goal is to develop an effective portfolio strategy to help you retire sooner and have a better lifestyle. Fluent Financial can also implement a program that allows business owners to install a cash balance plan, which may potentially reduce income tax payments. You've worked hard to become successful. Let us help develop an effective portfolio strategy that works for you. Learn more today about Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. For more information or to schedule a meeting, visit fluentfinancial.com or call 972-852-4800.
The Dallas Cowboys are about to give Micah Parsons a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. Over $40 million a year. He will be the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. And you know what? He's a wonderful player. He deserves it. But if he doesn't get it by the time training camp opens in a couple of weeks, he may well do the same thing that CeeDee Lamb did last year. He will just hold out of training camp. CeeDee Lamb held out to the verge of the season last year. And by the way, that was instrumental in the slow start of the Cowboys, especially the slow start in the connection between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But Parsons is a star. He deserves money. The longer the Cowboys wait, they're not going to have his price come down, but that's another matter. Parsons' money is not the point of this episode. Indirectly, the topic here arises from a Dallas Morning News article this past weekend, in which they were questioning whether or not the Cowboys could keep wide receiver George Pickens. They just acquired him. Whether or not the Cowboys could keep him after the season, because he's a free agent after this season. And I'm telling you, this situation, this question, is a lot bigger than George Pickens for the Cowboys. Let's look at the Cowboys cap next year, okay? The NFL salary cap this year is at $279 million. It's projected to take a nice jump next year to an estimated $307 million. Let's estimate Parsons next year will count $40 million against the cap. That means the Cowboys next year will have on their salary structure Dak Prescott at $78 million. Parsons at least 40. CeeDee Lamb at 38. The recently signed defensive tackle Osa Odigizua at $20 million. Tyler Smith will count $21 million. The cornerback Trayvon Diggs, $19 million. The tackle Terrence Steele, $18 million. That's 7 players, and next year, the Cowboys will still have $16 million in dead cap money left over from the retired Zach Martin's contract. Those 7 players and Martin's dead cap money, that's $250 million. Remember, the projected cap is $307. unless the Cowboys do something, that will leave them $57 million to sign 47 players. I don't need you to check the math there, do I? So, what are the chances the Cowboys keep George Pickens? Wait a minute. The question's way larger than that. After this season, star corner Deron Bland is free. So is solid tight end Jake Ferguson. Bland was a 5th rounder, Ferguson a 4th rounder. So is starting defensive end Sam Williams, who was a 2nd rounder. And Jalen Tolbert, a former 3rd rounder. And of course, Pickens. And loads of the off-season players the Cowboys signed this year to provide them depth are on 1-year contracts. So they'll all be free. Now, the Cowboys do like several other teams do. They kick the can down the road. They did that with Dak this year. They created a bunch of money to spend by kicking Dak's contract down the road. But that's why he will count $78 million a year against the salary cap for the next 3 years. At some point, that kicking the can strategy, the bills come due. And by the way, the bills came due for the Cowboys last year. Remember how little they did in the offseason to sign depth, valuable depth that they really didn't need during the season? Well, that's because they couldn't afford to sign those players. They didn't have the cap room. This year, they did create millions and millions of dollars by pushing the money of Dak and others down the road. But you're saying, wait a minute, don't other teams do this? Well, yeah, but successful teams don't do this. Starting this year, no team has ever won the Super Bowl with 3 players making more than $30 million on their roster. And this year, the Cowboys are going to have 3 players making more than $35 million on their roster. And next year, Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Parsons alone, those 3 will probably count about $150 million toward that cap of 307. This strategy in the past has meant the Cowboys haven't kept solid second-tier players, not stars, but good players. Tony Pollard, Tyler Biotish, Dorrance Armstrong, Dalton Schultz, Connor McGovern. I could go on. They couldn't afford to pay them. After this year, the same might be true of Deron Bland, Jake Ferguson, Sam Williams, and George Pickens. What do you want from your favorite restaurant? Fantastic personal service, a cheery, welcoming, spotless atmosphere, and, of course, great food. The primest of beef, wagyu and lamb, incredibly fresh seafood, lobster, salmon, shrimp, Hall of Fame food from a Hall of Fame restaurant. 2 locations of Bob's Steak and Chop House, the original Bob's on Lemon Avenue, and the gorgeous new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. There is enormous suffering going on right now in the state of Texas. The unspeakable horror of the epic flood in the Hill Country. It claimed more than 100 lives. And as I'm recording this, there are still a handful of people missing. This one hit particular home for Mary and myself. Country western singer Pat Green has become a close friend. He's been unbelievably generous with his time for the Normathon and for Austin Street Center for the homeless. And we had a wonderful time a couple of years ago when Pat Green asked us to come out so that I could be a sort of an MC of his annual charity golf tournament bash. But it appears that Pat Green has lost 4 family members: brother, wife, and their 2 sons. There's unthinkable grief happening for Pat Green now. For dozens and dozens and dozens of other families, for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, the sadness just reaches out and grabs them, and it's not going to let go for a long time. With some of them, it may not let go forever. If you're a person who prays, pray for all of them. Pray for Pat Green. And also, pray for Gordon Jago. He passed away this last weekend at 93 years old. He also had become a good friend of Mary and myself. Gordon Jago was a star player in the English Premier League soccer. He became a remarkable ambassador for soccer around the globe. He came to the United States. He coached outdoor soccer with a championship. He coached indoor soccer, the Dallas Sidekicks, to a championship in 1987. An incredible 1987 for the Sidekicks. And he became my broadcast partner for years and years and years after that, doing Sidekicks games. He became the Sidekicks general manager and then president. He was the driving force behind the Dallas Cup, this magnificent youth soccer competition where Gordon, using his contacts, reached out and had some of the best youth soccer teams in Europe coming here to the DFW area to play. Gordon Jago was at a point several years ago, for all of his efforts, he was knighted by the Queen. He was Sir Gordon Jago, but you'd never know it. He was humble, generous, kind, always giving with his time. He was a giant of a man with a giant of a life. And he was a giant friend.
Today's episode has been brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Earlier, Live Better, and by Bob's Steak and Chop House on Lemon in Dallas and in Craig Ranch in McKinney. Bob's, a Dallas tradition for more than 30 years.
If you've enjoyed Just Wondering, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will land in your mailbox early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Should you know a sports fan who might like our work, please share our contact information with that person. Just Wondering is technically directed by my wife Mary, who is also occasionally a talent on the show. It's produced by Mike Matern, edited and posted by Ashley Bullington. Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering. I'm Norm Hitzges, and know that every day I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitzges, and I'll just be wondering too.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.